Today's video is going to be all about how to naturally grow healthy hair, and it's going to have 5 different tips in here that I usually do to try and maintain like my hair health and my hair growth. And if you can see, my hair is very long, there is no extensions, my hair has been bleached in the past, it's been heat damaged, it's been damaged by just other contributing factors as well. So let's get into my tip number 1 of how to naturally grow healthy hair. So tip number 1 is going to be know your ingredients. And what I mean by this is knowing the ingredients that are in the hair products that you're already using. So like your shampoos, your conditioners, your heat protectants, like any sprays that you're using. Because a lot of these, maybe cheap ones, if we're going for like cheaper alternatives or more affordable alternatives, they include parabens and sulphates. Now sulphates, they dry out your hair really badly, and so do the parabens that are included in a lot of products. But we don't notice this when we wash our hair, and a lot of them we continue to use because our hair feels really soft after using it, and that is because they contain another ingredient which we should avoid at all costs, and that is silicone. The reason we don't realize this when we're using like affordable shampoos and conditioners is because they put the silicones in there to combat the dryness. Now silicones, they create like a mask around the strands of your hair, so that's why your hair feels really soft, but it's like putting a plaster over something, like you don't see it but really it is still there. And not only that, but the silicone that is being put onto your hair from these products, it stops actual moisture from like your environment or other products from actually penetrating your hair and looking after your hair. We should also try and avoid alcohol in any products. I don't think it's like frequently used in products, but again, it is a really big factor that contributes to drying out your hair. So it makes your hair become more brittle, more damaged, like lifeless, as they say. Like my hair at the moment, I would say it's pretty healthy. I only got it cut 7 weeks ago, and I'm going in next week for another kind of trim and another dye. But I use Olaplex for my hair, and as you can see, it's looking pretty healthy. And I know like Olaplex and Color Wow, they don't include any like parabens or sulfates or silicones in their shampoos, so it is very worth investing in your products, or at the very least checking what is in your products to make sure you're not damaging your hair. When our hair gets dry as well, when we're brushing it, because it's so brittle, it just causes more hair loss, so your hair starts thinning at the ends, it doesn't look as thick, and I think that is another major factor that makes us maybe feel like our hair doesn't look the way we want it to. Avoid parabens, silicones and sulfates at all costs. You do not want to put them on your hair. Now my next tip is actually a free tip, which means that you don't have to spend any money on this, you don't need to invest in any products, you don't need to buy anything to make it work, and that is making sure that you are hydrating yourself. And I say this because quite a large percentage of our hair is made up of water, and if we're dehydrated from the inside, like I'm not even talking about putting hydrating products on your hair, if you're not drinking and consuming enough water every single day, then that is going to have effects on your skin, on your hair, on your well-being. And so I would say try and drink at least 2 litres of water a day. I've got a huge water bottle that I got for the new year to try and drink 2 litres of water a day. I don't always do it, but I'm definitely drinking more water now, and I just find that my hair feels a lot more, like it has a lot more life to it, and that's probably because like a plant, like I'm watering it, I'm giving it sunlight and I'm like nourishing it. And as well, if you're hydrating yourself from within, it's really going to help combat dryness or itchiness on your scalp. If you ever struggle with that, you're going to find that nourishing yourself from within is going to kind of bring a lot more things into place and fix a lot of things in regards to like not only your hair but your skin and your like energy levels and how you're feeling. Hydration. Now the next one is actually scalp stimulus and like a kind of pre-wash hair treatment. So scalp stimulus, you can get like a brush for it. I'll put like a picture on the screen of like different things that you can use. I've got one that I can use in the shower, and you can just use your fingertips, and it's recommended to massage your scalp daily, or at least maybe 3 times a week, and this is because it stimulates the blood flow to your scalp and it opens up the hair follicles, which means that when your hair constantly kind of has that stimulation, if you're doing it every day, then your hair follicles are going to stay stimulated, they're going to stay bigger, and that means that your hair is going to grow thicker. And I know it sounds like like a weird concept, but it does take months for this to kind of see a real result. Like, you won't do it for a week and then see like really thick hair. You do have to constantly do it and kind of have that patience and persistence with it. But once you do, depending on how fast your hair grows, in 6 to 12 months you're going to see that your hair is a lot more thicker just because of the stimulation that you're giving your scalp. At the same time, if you want to add like an oil into the mix, I do kind of scalp stimulation before I wash my hair, and I use an oil. So I use the hair syrups oil, or you can use like the rosemary oil that went viral, and you just stimulate your scalp while you have that on your scalp, so you're massaging the oil into your hair. So you're going to be really looking after your hair as it is growing, and I feel like that is really important because sometimes these bits are just beyond repair and you need to let them grow out, you need to cut them off, and you need to start again, and starting again starts from your scalp. So make sure, if you're not already, to try scalp stimulation and see if that makes a difference over a period of time for you. Now, the next tip that I have is not like a controversial one, but it could be controversial because it's actually about taking vitamins. But when I say taking vitamins, I don't mean taking these hair vitamins that you see advertised for hair growth or hair strength or things like that. They may or may not do those things, but I was researching, and actually a lot of the kind of vitamins that are targeted for hair growth specifically, they don't actually work. It's not proven that they do promote hair growth or make your hair better. But what has been proven is taking like normal vitamins, so I think like vitamin B, vitamin E, vitamin D, iron, zinc, those kind of things. There's probably a few more. If you're taking those kind of vitamins every day and you have those kind of supplements in your lifestyle, it actually is going to benefit not only like your energy levels and your overall well-being, but it's going to start benefiting like your skin, your hair, your nails, and just your overall health. And I feel like it's kind of the same as water, in a way that you're nourishing yourself from within and it's going to show on the outside. So I wouldn't say necessarily invest in actual hair supplements and hair vitamins, but I would say invest in regular vitamins. If you know you maybe have a deficiency in something, or you struggle with like low energy levels, we don't get enough sunlight, all of those can affect how we appear on the outside, and that includes massively our hair. So I would definitely recommend just getting some multivitamins to start with and seeing how they treat you. The final thing that I will say, I just feel like it's a really obvious one, but using less heat on your hair. And I was kind of looking into the technical, maybe scientific reason why you shouldn't use heat on your hair. And so I looked into this, like the actual scientific reason why we shouldn't use heat on our hair. Like, I know like it makes your hair drier, it makes it duller, and it damages it, but I didn't understand what was being damaged. So I actually researched, and it says, one sec, I need to cough. And what I read is that the keratin bonds that are in our hair is like a protein, so that makes up the structure of our hair. So every single little strand of hair, by the way, I've got hair tinsel in my hair if you can see it. It looks amazing. The proteins that are in these keratin bonds make up the structure of our hair, so that is why our hair is strong. Like, a piece of hair is actually really strong. Like, if you've ever had one and you've tried to like pull it, like our hair is insanely strong. Like, just one strand by itself is so strong. But as we continually put heat on this, it breaks down the protein, which means that it gets weaker. We're kind of like, it's like a Jenga, imagine. So you've got a full tower, and every time we use heat, we're pulling a little slab out. And if we're constantly using heat multiple times a day or multiple times a week, imagine how many times we pulled that out and weakened the tower, the bond in our hair. And eventually we're gonna use heat one day and we're gonna pull the wrong one out, and it's all gonna come falling down, and we've fully weakened the bonds in our hair. I hope that makes sense. I obviously use heat on my hair. I've curled my hair today, but I always make sure to use a really good heat protectant. Definitely use a really good heat protectant and UV protectant to make sure that even when you're in the sun, your hair isn't getting damaged. Maybe try like heatless styling tools like the curling rods or the socks, or just try different things, see what happens, and always make sure you use a heat protectant, and hopefully your hair will be looking gorgeous in no time. Those tips for me are probably the easiest natural way to grow healthy hair. I'm very happy with how my hair looks at the moment, and I'm very excited to get it done soon. I will be vlogging the process, but thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you. If you have any kind of natural tips that you have for hair growth, then definitely let me know in the comments. I can always make a part 2 for this as well, because I have a lot of other things that I do for my hair care as well. So if you would be interested in that, let me know. But please like, subscribe, let me know what you thought, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.